right, moving on to question number 3 here. This is from Roy. Hi there, Roy. Thanks for joining us. I've been in the buy-to-let business in Brighton for over a decade, and finding good, reliable tradesmen, or any trade really, builders, plumbers, renovation companies, to be a real struggle. One of my properties is a large project. I've contacted at least 10 different companies. I managed to meet with just 3. The first one wasn't interested and never quoted. The second one way overpriced the job. The third one seemed okay and was prepared to go with him, but he doesn't answer calls or emails. Check a Trade and My Builder are a joke. You can find people on those sites, but they are mostly subpar. Any good advice on how to find and retain good tradesmen? I posted my question in numerous forums to try and get a good answer, but most replies came from people with the same unresolved issues. Some said that many of the good trades were foreigners who went home after Brexit. Okay, Roy, well, thanks for the question there. I'm sorry to hear that you've had these issues. I can't comment so much on what you were suggesting about the other sites that are out there that you're trying to find people. But in my experience, these are common problems that you will face with trying to get the right tradespeople on board. I've got a lot of friends who are also in the property investment world, and they are struggling to build the right teams to support them in their journey, okay? And I think that's a sign of the times, really. So again, what tends to happen, a bit of a history lesson, if you like, with this, Roy, is that because the economy goes in cycles, okay, so we have this sort of boom, bust cycle, what tends to happen is that all of the trades, so your brickies, your plumbers, your sparkies, your carpenters, and all the rest of it, all these people get massively overburdened with work, when the economy's booming, and then all of a sudden when the recession hits, then a lot of them lose their jobs, the house builders sack them, and all the rest of it, and so they end up either out of work or unable to feed their families and all the rest of it, or having to go on benefits or whatever it might be, because there's not enough work around. And so as a consequence, a lot of these tradies will leave the industry and go and find a more stable profession to pursue. And I can't say as I blame them, because it must be really dreadful if you've earned really good money and then all of a sudden it's kind of on this feast and famine approach. So there is an issue with a lot of tradies that have left the industry. And combined with that, a lot of people have, coming through school, have been given this sort of idea that the best way to approach life is to go for a more of a desk job than actually being on the tools. And as a consequence, because of the limited number of people that are available, you kind of end up with this almost price war, if you like, of trying to get hold of good people. And, the cost of getting them has been steadily increasing, certainly over the course of the last couple of years. I recently met with a friend of mine, Nick. He's a property investor who's doing a lot of good stuff at the moment. And he said trying to get hold of good builders, was just crazy. He was having the day rates that the main house builders were paying for bricklayers alone. He said it was just absolutely staggering. So that's a bit of a history lesson. But to answer your question in more detail, what I would say is one of the places to go and look, which is pretty overlooked, to be honest with you, is to go to a local BNI meeting in your area. And if you're down in Brighton, there might be 1 or 2 chapters in Brighton or surrounding areas. And the BNI meetings, you'll find them, just do a quick search on the internet there. But the BNI meetings are great because you'll sometimes have builders that are there who are, searching for business, and therefore you can build a good relationship. And the good thing is that those people have to turn up to that meeting every single week. Now, if you're there as you're going there as either a visitor or as a guest, and then you decide that you might want to join for whatever reason, because you might find it good for building your buy-to-let business, then you by going there every week and meeting the builder there every week, chances are they're going to have to do a good job for you. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty embarrassing when you go there the following week. So that might be one way to tackle it. The other thing is that they may have builders that are there, or people that know builders that can refer you to them, because the whole idea is it's all about business networking and feeding leads to one another. So if people are prepared to recommend friends and family that are builders and all the rest of it, it may well put you in a strong position where you'll get a reliable recommendation. So that would be one thing to think about. The other alternative, of course, is to go to the local pubs in the area at 4 o'clock on a Friday, and you'll see all the tradies there. I'm joking. Okay, if that's not clear, but that would be one place I would certainly recommend doing, is going to the BNI. The other one to think about would be to look up if there's any property investing groups in your locality within Brighton. I'm sure there are down there. Things like property investor network meetings. I think there's also a property entrepreneurs network as well in that neck of the woods. Go there and talk to some of the other property investors and see if they've got recommendations. Because if you're doing a number of projects here, Roy, if you're doing a number of different projects, hopefully you can build a core team that you can move from one project to another. Okay, and that worked for me quite well. And I found my one builder through BNI, and he then recruited other people to work underneath him. And I think we did about 6 or 7 projects together. They were fairly quick sort of flips, turnarounds, and properties that we bought to renovate to let out. And everything was going really, really well. He was getting regular work. He was very, very happy. And then I got him involved with doing a house up that I bought to live in. And I kid you not, the kitchen was small, but it took him about 6 weeks to do this kitchen. And I was traveling a lot at the time, doing a lot of mentoring and speaking to help people with their property journey. And I'm sitting there, sometimes with my head in my hands going, what on earth is this? I've given this builder so much work. And he's taken him 6 weeks to fit this kitchen, and in the end we had a bit of we came to cross words over it, because it was so I found it so difficult, that we'd done all these projects together, and I thought we were getting on great, and then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, this was an obstacle that we couldn't quite overcome. So hopefully that's some guidance there for you, Roy, and I hope it's given you some background as to where to go and to get the right support in what you're doing. And again, if there's anything else that we can do, it is one of the things that we are trying to build into the WiggyWam platform, is also things like this sort of finding the right tradespeople that are trusted and verified by user reviews that are fully authenticated as part of the process. And that is something that we're building at the moment, getting the right people on board, so that people can have trust in going to that one site and then getting the right people on board to help them with their projects. So hopefully that's useful, Roy, and good luck with that. Let us know if we can do anything else to support you. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. Really impressed that you're showing up week in, week out. We're getting some great feedback and responses. So don't forget that you can send us your questions anytime you'd like, either on email, happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk, or you can send them to us via Twitter, or you can go to our WiggyWam website, log into there, and then send us some questions directly. I'd be more than happy to answer them. I'm really excited to be doing these webinars. I get a lot of fun and enjoyment out of them. And even though this last week has been complete chaos, I've really enjoyed it, because it's given us an opportunity to have a bit of normality and at least get the office fairly ready for doing this webinar today. So thanks for your time and attention, guys. Look forward to joining you again, same time next week, and hope you have an amazing evening. All right, guys, take care. See you again. Bye-bye.